All right, hello and welcome back to the Magic School Bus 6. All right, so yeah, I mean, you can't help but feel like we're in an episode of the Magic School Bus as we get shrunken down to the size of a ship and injected into someone's body. So this is the kind of subroutine that was provided for us by Dr. Below to search for the nanites. So we're going to put it into this disk drive here. Search for some nanites. And we see some up in the brain and some in the stomach, which luckily is right where we are. So we're going to look around here for right now. Before we go anywhere, we're going to need to grab our suit and helmet again. We don't actually need to wear the helmet in here, but we still want it, and you will see why in the relatively near future. All right, let's throw the suit on. And step outside. All right, so there's a couple of things that we want to see. First, there's something right here that we want to grab. And something hanging off of this engine. We're going to grab that as well. We just want to look at this blinking light.
Red light. This is not good. Apparently some or all of the intermix element in fuel tank 3 was disgorged during your heinous Venus joyride. That's not all that was disgorged, but we'll skip the details.
If you'll remember,
That's delightful.
Yeah. Fuel tank 3 was actually the one that contained silver way back when we did the intermix a couple episodes ago. So basically it's saying that fuel tank 3 is empty and we need some silver to fill it with. This is a big ulcer in the stomach. This is the lower esophageal sphincter where the esophagus meets the stomach. Or anyone who's interested. I don't think this is generally how real stomachs work, but I've been wrong before. So we're going to do a few things. We're going to grab this candy.
You acquire a candy.
I'm going to grab this paper clip. This, I believe, is kind of a string of celery. Somehow got embedded in the wall. And this is a feather that Roger wanted to take a really weird circular walk around to grab. These nanites are dangerous to us. We want to avoid them. Now, I don't even know if you really need to do this, but we want to see how this stomach acid reacts to a small bit of kind of sugary candy. And you can see that the acid level goes up a little.
The acid rises, but just not quite.
Oops. Cut off Gary Owens there. Oh.
You acquire a candy.
I don't know if anything changes from us doing this 3 times. They usually do, just because.
Interesting. The acid rises, but just not quite high enough to submerge those nanites.
And then we can do the third one, but we're not getting any more points for this, I don't believe.
You acquire a candy.
It's not like you're learning new information either, so I don't know if it's just kind of a red herring to trick you into thinking this is what you're supposed to do. It doesn't really matter.
Interesting. The acid rises, but just not quite high enough to submerge those nanites.
Alright, so what we want to do is take our little staple here. We're actually going to combine it with this little celery rope. And then we're going to take the celery rope. We're going to climb up the wall. And you have to get pretty much right up to the opening here, just don't actually exit. Grab this and do a little lasso move. Or grapple, I suppose, is more accurate. Roger falls
Nice
down,
shot.
which is not a problem. And then we'll just climb up. No, that's right. We gotta go to the... There we go. And then we have essentially a Twinkie here. Let's see, what's it
A
called?
large hunk of Twinkoid cake food product is hanging just below her epiglottis. It appears to have gotten jammed on the way to her stomach for digestion.
It's a
Doesn't this woman chew?
That's what I was thinking. Alright, let's keep going up. And then what we want to do actually is take out the feather, and we're going to tickle the throat here to try and make this fall down into the stomach. We're trying to basically stimulate the esophagus to contract, squeeze out this material. Which is how swallowing works, and why you're able to swallow when you're upside down. It is not just gravity. Twinkie falls in the acid, and that is enough to generate enough acid to take out those nanites. Farewell, little evil robots. Alright, so,
This is the
we're going to finish climbing up. Lower, middle, and upper esophagus. And we're just going to grab this little, let's see, I think it's an antihistamine, right?
It's one of those tiny timed release pills. As I recall, these are designed to not melt down and release their medicines until they've gotten to an area past the stomach.
Alright, so we're going to knock this down. So, what did they say there? That basically this kind of shell here won't open from the acids in the stomach, and instead needs digestive material from after the stomach before it'll open. I don't actually think that's how most of these kind of pills work. I don't know. I don't think that's accurate, but sounds like we need to get some digestive enzymes from the other parts of the digestive tract if we want to gain access to the actual pills inside this capsule. So we have gone into the duodenum. We're going to go to the lower part of the duodenum. We could go down further, but we're not going to do that yet. Instead, we're going to go in here through the ampulla of Vater. That's the name of this. And into the biliary tract. Doesn't really matter which direction you go first, so let's go this way, because why not? We're traveling towards the pancreas, and exactly why there's kind of a like cholesterol buildup on the way to the pancreas, I'm not sure, but what we're going to do is we're going to take out our alveoli, which are kind of the tiny sacs at the ends of the lungs, put them in here, and we're going to fill them with air. Yeah, they overfill a little too much, they can blow, but we basically stented this area open so that we can travel through. Let's see how much science and biology Roger knows.
These little islets drip a pancreatic enzyme. This is later mixed with some stuff from the gallbladder to make that wonderful green bile antifreeze-looking stuff that humanoid hurlers the universe over have come to know and hate.
Alright, I guess you can call that a little hint of what we need to do. So we're going to collect some of this material. Seems like we could just scoop it, but for whatever reason, Roger wants to actually catch it.
You maneuver your helmet beneath the drip and manage to snag a nice little dollop of the stuff.
Alright, let's depart. And this time we're going to head up. So this was the pancreas. Now we're going to head towards the gallbladder. Granted, I'm not sure that you could really call the bile from the gallbladder a truly digestive enzyme. Really more... I don't know how you want to phrase it. Kind of allows it to dissolve by forming little cells around the particles that are being absorbed. But whatever, it doesn't matter. This is a little more complex. We can't just dip the helmet in here for whatever reason. Maybe it's just too far of a drop or something. What does Roger have to say about this?
Wow, check out all that bile. Looks like her liver's been doing just fine. That's a pool of bile any liver would be proud of. You sure can't speak highly of its aroma.
This should be the gallbladder, really not the liver, but that's fine. So we have these capillaries here.
It's the bundle of capillaries you appropriated from Stellar.
But they're a little broken apart. So we're going to take this tape. We're going to tape the capillaries together.
You cleverly tape the capillaries together.
This is the tape that we got from the, what do you want to call it, center console back on the ship. We're going to bind it with the pump that we got from that same console.
Nice work. You've hooked up your makeshift hose to the pump.
And we're going to put this into the bile. We'll do a little cranking.
You chuck one of the taped capillaries over the muscular ledge. It drops into the pool.
Yeah, I guess that's supposed to be a long way. That's why Roger can't just dip the helmet in directly. We'll pump some bile in there. I like that it also shows that the pancreatic enzymes are already in there. It wouldn't if you hadn't gone there first. It's a good addition.
Pump a stroke or two, and in the process, gather a nice helmet load of bile. I guess congratulations are in order.
Alright, so we'll take that. We're going to use it to dissolve that pill, but the question is, why are we doing that? The world may never know. Uh-oh. I see a gallstone up here. Dr. Jones, run! Roger just manages to escape. Gallstone gets stuck here. That's going to cause quite a few problems for Stellar. She wakes up. Meanwhile, we're just going to grab some tiny chunks of gallstone, just in case. Just in case. Alright, let's make a quick trip back up to the stomach. Maybe not that quick. We'll get there eventually, though. Alright. So, let's take this little concoction, dissolve the capsule. And grab some of this medication.
You now own one of those tiny timed release pills.
Let's see if he says anything if we just look at it.
It's one of those tiny timed release pills.
Alright, whatever. And let's move on. So now, hopefully, I don't mess this up by going too far or anything, but we are gonna head down here, further into the intestinal tract. Whether or not we're leaving the duodenum to go to the ileum, I don't know. Alright, so here's where we need to be careful and move slowly. If we go too far, things are not going to go well for us. Just a little bit. Okay, let's stop here as soon as you can see this mouth. So,
Great Scott, that certainly is one buff parasite.
looks like she's got a pretty decent tapeworm
I'm
here.
gonna spew. But who'll notice? Man, that thing's ugly.
It's ugly, but it's also currently pretty angry. And we're going to try and make it happier. Now, I don't know if this is an antacid and we make its stomach feel better, or if it's an antihistamine and we're going to calm it down. I don't know, but we're going to give it this pill, and it's going to get happier.
Impressive. The tapeworm suddenly becomes much more animated.
I don't see why it being animated makes it less likely to eat us, but it does. And now, we can ride it.
Please remember to keep your arms and legs on the worm at all times.
I don't think this is an intentional Dune reference, but sort of feels like one. So we're going to ride the worm through the entirety of the small intestine over to the cecum, where the small intestine and large intestine meet. I wasn't intending to do quite as much of an anatomy lesson as I am, but whatever. And here, where the small and large intestine meet.
Yow! Now that's a ride you won't take in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, here where they meet, we're going to find the appendix. We don't actually need the appendix or anything, at least not that Roger knows about. But we are going to find a couple of items that we just so happen to need. So, we don't know that we need them yet, but we're going to grab this piece of, I don't know what that is, I guess another paper clip.
You carefully, very carefully, stole the paper clip in your pocket.
We're going to take a little bit of this fingernail. So we got a screw and a
Snap
coin.
off a shard of fingernail and gingerly introduce it into your pocket.
But we're also going to grab a little piece of this, which we do need, and it seems to be a silver filling, I guess from a cavity.
You pull away a cracked piece of the filling.
And that we should be able to use to power our ship. So, based on that program we saw on our ship, there were some
So
nanites.
you like the worm, huh? You like to ride the worm, huh? I let you ride the worm.
Based on that program, there were some nanites in the stomach, which we've taken care of, but Sharpei was not among them. So, we're going to have to head off to the location, the second location, where we saw nanites, which was up in the brain. We'll ride the tapeworm back through the large intestine. I'm sorry, small intestine. We do, unfortunately, have to climb all the way back out. And I mean all the way back out.
It wouldn't be...
Yeah. Hand icon should be used for climbing. Just feels right. Alright, back up through here. And all the way back out to the stomach. I don't know if that beat is supposed to be kind of reminiscent of like a heartbeat. It's got that thump thump going on in the background. It can be hard to hear. It's a little subtle, but it's certainly there. I don't know how loud it's coming across to you. And up the wall. We're just gonna leave that staple in her stomach, I guess. She's already got a huge ulcer, so can't make it that much worse. Take out our silver filling, refill this fuel tank, and now we gotta hopefully click on the right spot of the door. There we go.
You neatly replace the EVA suit in its proper place.
I don't know why we're gonna need it again, but I guess we just put it away. Hop in the seat, take off, head up to the brain. Location locked, heading to the brain. Alright. As we land here and get back inside the cockpit, we're actually going to end the video here, and when we return, we were going to complete the brain and also the game. We'll figure out what Roger can do to hopefully thwart Sharpei's plans, but till then, see ya.